Day 12. Let the day. My face says it all, people. This was a very difficult day. She uses 20s and 25s for almost everything. I think she drops down to 15 at one point. The only difference between this week and last week on all the routines is the pace. So instead of doing 2 rounds with a little bit more instructions, because when you do it for the first time, you really don't know what to do, and she wants to make sure that you have the correct form. And so with that being said, it takes a little bit longer and you only get 2 rounds in. This week, you're getting 3 rounds of everything in, and there's very little rest time. And then I went through, actually the first 2 rounds, I used a set of 20s for every single move. By the time I got to the 3rd one, I was tired and I felt like my form wasn't quite where it should be. So I went down to my 12s because it's all I had here in the living room with me, and I was too lazy to run out into my gym and get it. But the lighting out there is really bad. The lighting in here is not good either, but it's worse in my gym. So anyway, I was too lazy to run out there, so I just made do with my 12s and really tried to concentrate on mind-muscle connection as well as really proper form. What I found was when I do the curtsy lunges, for instance, I was allowing my hips to kind of angle a little bit. So say for instance, it was my right leg forward and my left leg was back into the curtsy position. Whenever I would lower down, I would find that I would turn my hips this direction. If you really focus on trying to keep both your toes pointed forward and go down and maybe not put your foot quite as far back, less space, you'll find that when you go down, you'll activate your glutes where your tie-in is, right between the bottom of your rear and tied into the back of your leg. You'll hit that really good, as well as on your side glute as you come up a little bit higher. So again, proper form is everything. So if you really just try to concentrate on making sure your hips stay forward on that. The other big tip that I'll give you on today's routine that makes a huge difference is when she has you do your forward lunges. Again, at first I was trying to figure out what exactly she was trying to do. Instead of trying to go so far down on that front leg, just try to concentrate on getting your chest down. Not so much a big squat or hinge in your front knee, but keep that back leg straight and your back straight and just kind of like angled down. And so when you're doing that, again, you're going to feel it in your ham tie-in. So even though this was leg day, there was a lot of glute activation moves that she threw in there, which was really nice because a lot of it was compound moves as well. So you're hitting different angles of the glutes and you're working different parts of the legs and the glutes at the same time. So it was really nice. I enjoyed the variation that she had today. Another tip that I'll give you is when you're doing your sumo squats, when you're holding your weights, depending on where you hold your weights will also depend on where you feel it more. So for instance, the first round that I went through, I believe I had them up on my hips. She says you can rest them there. However, I found that when I did that, I was able to, it's not however, it's I found that when I would rest my weights on my hip bones when I would go down, I was able to sit up into my move and go straight down. So my back would be more like, as she says, against a wall, and you can feel that you're sitting back into it a little bit more. And then when you come up where the weight is sitting on your hips, you're able to really, let's see if I can pull it in for you. So as you're going, you put your weights right here, and so as you're coming up, you're really able to pull forward, and since your weight is right here, you're able to activate your glutes a little bit more. So there you go, crotch shot, sorry. But I hope that it explains it a little bit more. When you are trying to hold it into your hands and just between your legs, if you're not careful, or if you pick a weight that's too heavy for where you're really at, you'll actually start, as you go down, your body, your chest is going to start falling forward because the weight is pulling you this way. So again, if you put your weights here on your hips, it's causing your hips to go up and down. Where if you hold your dumbbells between your legs, As you go down, it's gonna pull you forward to where your weight is no longer being distributed into your glute section, and you're not gonna keep that proper form like this. It'll pull you forward. It's a natural thing. It might not necessarily be, it could be a combination of one, you have too heavy of a weight, but it could also be that when you're doing that, it's just the way that the weight's pulling you. So it's just my suggestion for your forearm strength as well as keeping proper form, just put them on your hips, do yourself a favor, and really concentrate on going back with a straight back and sitting up. And as you do that, you're really gonna activate the inside of your thighs. And as you come forward, your hip flexors and the inner thighs and your glutes, in the middle of your glutes, almost into your booty crack, you're gonna feel the activation, and that's where you wanna feel it. So those are just my few tips for the day. I thought I would give you a little bit more in-depth tips today. I haven't really been doing that, and I apologize. So again, proper form is really gonna be more important than the weight that you're using. And I have to remember that because I am notorious for trying to do heavy weights, and I have to remember that this is new to me too. I'm not used to using dumbbells for certain moves that she has you do. The good mornings, same thing. Make sure that as you go down on your good mornings, that you keep your hips facing forward and go slower if you need to. I actually found that I would put the first round I went through with my hands up on my hips, or on my hips. I went down like this where my hands were up. But what I found was I was again allowing my hips to kind of angle just a hair when I would lower myself to keep my balance, because especially to the end of the second and third round, your legs are going to be tired, and the side of your glute will be getting very weak as well. And so your body's going to try to overcompensate for that by turning at a different angle so that it activates a little bit different part of your muscles. Natural thing, again, like I said, keep your hands on your hips, and that way you can automatically feel when your hips start to turn, and you can really concentrate on not doing it, and you can correct it so that you're making sure that you're really filling it into, again, your hand tie-in. I think that is it as far as my suggestions for today's workout. Was there anything else? I don't think so. I think that was it. The only move that I didn't quite understand, the Buddha squat that she has, or the Buddha lunge, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I understand what she's trying to say as far as you should, theoretically, like she's saying, as you sit back into the motion, your body is actually gonna pivot backwards, so your butt will actually sit on the heels of the leg, or the heel of the leg that's behind you. And as you come up, you really have to concentrate on only using that front leg for you to stand up on. So theoretically, it should really be working the back of your leg, again, the ham tie and the hams. However, I found that it's super difficult, especially if you're a newbie, or you haven't done this exact move, or if your hamstrings aren't quite as strong. It's not necessarily the weight, it's the position. Again, it's a little bit of an awkward position, and unless you get yourself exactly accurate, it can be a little bit more quad dominant into your back quad. So the leg you're not even supposed to be using, you'll find that you'll use it without realizing you're using it until it's too late. So what I would suggest is either do it with no weights in the beginning, just so you can concentrate more on the form, so you can really concentrate on mind to muscle and really feel it. Once you get that, then slowly add weight to it. Or you can do sissy squats and just go up in your weight. So I actually did sissy squats on the third round because I was getting frustrated because I was just not feeling it where she was feeling it. And I was like, I feel like I'm wasting my time. It was super difficult for me to try to figure out if, I don't know, I just made it harder on myself. So anyway, I did sissy squats and I felt it amazingly when I did those. So what I did is I took my heavier weights that I had, my dumbbells, and I actually stood, so here's the dumbbell here. I actually would stand with my heel up on top of the dumbbell. So as I went down, my foot's like this. So this is my toe and this is my heel. It positions you like this, so as you come down, you're actually getting your chest is almost to where your knees are, and so it's causing you to really isolate your glutes back and put the pressure onto your hamstring and the glute tie-in. So as I came down, I was coming down this way, and as I would come up, I was able to really pull in my hips and really squeeze, and I was really feeling it then where she was trying to get me to feel it. The Buddha squats, I wasn't feeling it. And again, I think it was more of, it's just a very odd position. And she even tells you that in the beginning, that it's kind of a very odd position for you to be in. And so until you can get used to it, but I ain't got time for that. I don't have patience. So I rather just go ahead and do my sissy squats and be done with it. I call it a modified sissy squat. I'm not really sure that that's really what it is. A sissy squat really is something you can do at the gym. They actually have a machine for it, but I just did a makeshift one of it here at home so I could do it. I really wanted to activate it. On a positive note, we'll end this video. I will say that I am really enjoying her workout. I am having major DOMs today though, man. My calves are absolutely still. When I woke up this morning from day before yesterday, when we did the cardio core, when you do that one football and you're on your tiptoes and going fast, oh my goodness, I haven't done calves in so long that absolutely killed my calves. To where this morning I was running late, I fell back asleep and I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm trying to go up the stairs. Okay, no, I about died. So I'm trying to go up sideways and yelling at my kids while trying to be quiet so I don't wake up my husband and my other daughter. So I'm like, it's time to go. We have to leave in like 10 minutes. I didn't think, it took me longer getting up the stairs than it did for me to get dressed. Needless to say, we were late for school. Mom life. Hashtag reality. It was horrible. Anybody else experience that where you had major soreness like a day later? You would think it'd be the next day. No, my body is like a 48-hour onset of the severe sore muscles. Anyway, I appreciate you following along. We'll continue to push out the videos. I have not posted the AAA. I will post that next week and give you my review over that. I'm trying not to bombard you with too many videos at one time. Otherwise, you're going to get bored of me and you'll leave me. And that's just sad. Anyway, I appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and please be sure to like my video. It really supports my channel and I really, really appreciate it. And we are done with day number 12. Seems like we have so much further to go. And we're almost done with week 2, so I will give you an update after tomorrow as well as tips and tricks on my review now that I've had my bands and my slides long enough that I feel like I can give you a review as of right now, how I feel about them. And so yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for following along, guys, and happy day 12 to you if you haven't done it yet. Bye.